was going to come on here and have some sort of a gimmick, like, I'm playing a game because I actually do want to play Sims 4, but I think it's okay to be real and it's okay to be honest with people and whoever's watching this. I believe that I was put on this earth to help others in some shape, way, or form. I was put on this earth to be a teacher and you're not always a teacher in the traditional sense. Sometimes you are a teacher in the storytelling sense. And this is my path. This is my truth. And I hope that whoever's watching this today feels validated. I got called in for an academic disciplinary hearing thing. And, we're living in the age of AI right now, and everything has AI. Your phone has AI, your laptop has AI, your iPad, your tablet has AI. And it's so hard nowadays to know what to do in terms of being a student. And this is my experience. AI has been around for years, and for me, let me just say it, I took notice of it. It boomed while I was in my final year of university. And this is when it really took off, like at least where I live. And I went through my university years without using AI. I had to type everything by hand. Well, of course you have to type by hand, but I had to type everything out. I had to go do the research. I had to do this. I had to do that. And, in as much as AI can be helpful, it really can be. It's just not regulated yet. It's not regulated. It's not environmentally conscious. I feel like, in as much as it's been around for years, it's still a work in progress. With that being said, nowadays universities use things such as Turnitin, which it's made life a little hard for students, for me. And because because I might have used AI unintentionally, I'm being called in for a disciplinary hearing. And it's scary because growing up being a child that's like, I crave academic validation. I need to be seen as good and proper and not break any rules and laws. I feel like a failure. I feel like I'm a bad person. I feel so bad. But at the same time, I have grown so much in the sense that I've practiced acceptance. I've practiced being like, okay, this is the situation, and is it going to change? Is panicking going to change things? No? Then I don't know. I think that people don't talk about how the international student experience is like. A lot of the times, allegedly, this is just from my experience, I have felt targeted. A lot of the time, I felt like because of where I'm from and who I am, people often used to call me like unserious or I'm just playing around. And, it's very daunting being in a country that's not your home. One. Two, a lot of things happen in university. You don't just show up and you go to classes. You go through life in the background, and it just kind of feels like the people in charge never understood that yeah, and they'll always say, okay, well, go, there's a therapist on campus. The therapists on campus, they just be like, get well soon, don't think bad thoughts. You're so pretty, don't do it. And it's like, okay, well, that didn't help at all, but thank you. It's a very unique experience because, and as much as people gaslight you and say, no, nobody's after you, nobody's out to get you, nobody's plotting on your downfall, in the back of your mind, you can kind of feel like, no, they are. And of course, this could all be speculation. I mean, of course, when you feel like you're the outcast, you feel like everybody's against you. I know that right now, unfortunately, this is how it's going to be like. If I ever get my master's, this is a postgraduate diploma, not even my master's degree. If ever, universe willing, I get my master's degree, I'm pretty sure that I might even be met with the same issue again. Because right now, even the people where you get your papers from, they might be using AI. You never know. You never know. You never know if someone you just read your paper on nuclear physics and the person who wrote that paper used AI. You never know. That's probably because in their university they're allowed to do that and you didn't know that. They were allowed to use AI tools for their research. But in your university it's not allowed. I feel like we shouldn't be too quick to judge folks, but understand that everybody's moving at different paces. Some might be ahead in life, some might be behind. And that is the international student experience. You always feel like you're behind. You always feel like you're not going to live up to everybody's expectations because you're not from the country. You are expected to you're held at a higher standard because you're expected to represent the country you're from, but also represent the country that you're in, which is incredibly difficult because you're human as well. You make mistakes, it happens. It's a very silent battle, which is why I realize that sometimes, when international students go to different countries, they often stick with other international students from their home countries or other countries because it's a different experience altogether. Like nobody else can understand. It can sometimes be sad. It can be isolating and it can be lonely. And I'm very lucky to have formed incredible friendships over the years. But this, seeing that email while I was out, first of all, I was out of the house and it was like, I just felt in my chest, I was like, you know what? Girl, whatever. Whatever. I just kind of felt like this is the situation. Is what it is. I'm gonna hope for the best. But I hope that somebody who has ever felt, even if you haven't been called for a disciplinary hearing, like maybe you got a 0 on your assignment and you have that one lecturer that's essentially calling you nothing, saying you'll never amount to anything in life. Just remember that university is a very short period of your life. It counts towards a lot, but can we count how many degree holders have no jobs at this current point in time? There are no jobs. And you know what? I'm thankful that I have my degree. I really thought, like, in hindsight, in as much as this is gutting me, at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I have my degree. I have my degree. Thank you. Thank you. I'm thankful that I have a nice bed, nice warm bed to cry in if I feel like crying. I have the privilege of feeling this way. And then 3, 5 years from now, I can look back and say that little hump in the road it slowed me down, but it didn't drive me off my path. It didn't deter me. I'm still gonna succeed. I'm still gonna be who I am. I'm still gonna stand in honor and integrity. I'm still gonna reassure myself that there's nothing wrong with me and I'm not a bad person. I'm just somebody who made a mistake. And I feel very privileged and very blessed to be in a position where, I even had the chance to have that learning experience with my PGDE. I'm so thankful that I even got the chance. I'm thankful. People always ask, what's the key to manifestation? Gratitude. And I know it's really hard to, have no money or have no job and be like, I'm thankful. But, sometimes you really stop. You really stop in your steps and you really look at where you are and you're like, you know what? This sucks. Being unemployed sucks. But at least I'm unemployed in a nice house. I have a roof over my head. My belly's full. My body is washed. I took a shower this morning. Thankful. You have every right to wallow in whatever sadness you feel. No one, this is not a toxic positivity movement. Not over here, buddy. You can wallow. You can feel like the world is against you. You have every right to feel like people are against you just because you're different. Sometimes what I do is I just like to stop and smell the flowers because I'm privileged enough to have them. I'm thankful. And I want it to be on record that I'm thankful And in as much as I am anxious, I'm also not. I also have faith that things will work out my way and that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And there's always somebody looking out for me universally. Somebody. And things will get better. I think one of my favorite songs is Things Will Get Better by Clear Soul. It's a really good song, and it will. But until then, take everything in stride. You know, go out there, visit more countries even, show your face more, show up. You know what someone once said to me when I was a kid in primary school? I don't know what I was doing, but it was one of my teachers, and he was like, oh, look at this girl. She's gonna bring our grade point average down. She's, just playful. Playful. That's the word that every adult in my life loved to use about me. But I passed first class. Sometimes it's not about proving other people wrong, it's about proving yourself right. So show up. You don't have to show up today if you don't want to. You don't even have to show up tomorrow, but show up. The international student experience is one that is tough. It's tough. And I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, or maybe they do, and I just don't pay attention. But this is my 2 cents on it. And it shouldn't deter you from going out there and seeking knowledge. That is the topic of today's video, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. Peace.